What's up, short attention span history nerds? Okay, show of hands. Who can name the 16th president of the United States of America? Okay, you can put your hands down now. For those of you playing along, it's Abraham Lincoln. Born in 1809, the Republican Party, served in office from 1861 to 1865. Super skinny dude, really tall, killed by John Goodman. John Goodman? Who's been playing around with my teleprompter? Killed by John Wilkes Booth? Okay, now that we've got his resume out of the way, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this video. A lot is known about Abraham Lincoln, but there's a lot of lesser known facts about him that require a lot of digging through books and researching historical documents. Some odd, some sad, and some just bewildering. These are the top 10 facts about Honest Abe that I found most interesting. Lincoln is honored in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. The Great Emancipator was the Illinois wrestling champion in 1830 when he was 21 years old. Now these weren't quite WWE matches, but it was the 1830s and a time when everything and everyone was tough and brutal. Defeated only once in approximately 300 matches, Lincoln reportedly talked a little smack in the ring too. According to Carl Sandburg's biography of Lincoln, Honest Abe once challenged an entire crowd of onlookers after being beat by an opponent. Abe shouted, "I'm the big buck of this lick. If any of you want to try it, come on and wet your horns." There were no takers. He was honored as an outstanding American by the National Wrestling Hall of Fame in Stillwater, Oklahoma. So take that, brother! Lincoln created the Secret Service just hours before his assassination. On April 14, 1865, Lincoln signed legislation creating the U.S. Secret Service. The next evening, less than 24 hours later, he was shot in the head in Ford's Theater. But even if the Secret Service had been created a year earlier, let's say, it really wouldn't have saved him. The original mission of the Secret Service was to stop currency counterfeiting. It wasn't until 1901, after the killing of 2 more presidents, that the Secret Service was formally assigned to protect the Commander-in-Chief. Talk about a day late and a $5 bill too short. Too soon? Grave robbers attempted to steal Lincoln's corpse. Secret Service did come to Lincoln's protection this time, but only in his death. In 1876, a gang of Chicago counterfeiters attempted to snatch Lincoln's body from his tomb, which was protected by just a single padlock. They were upset at his attempt to stop counterfeiting, and they figured they could steal the body of the person that hurt their business and hold it for ransom. Their scheme was to hold the corpse for a ransom of $200,000 and obtain the release of the gang's best counterfeiter who was serving time in prison. Secret Service agents, however, infiltrated the gang and were waiting for the grave robbers to break the padlock. They broke the padlock, and the Secret Service sprang into action. Lincoln's body was quickly moved to an unmarked grave and eventually encased in a steel cage and entombed under 2 tons of concrete. Not even David Blaine can escape from that much concrete. John Wilkes Booth's brother saved the life of Lincoln's son. A few months before John Wilkes Booth assassinated Lincoln, the president's oldest son, Robert Todd Lincoln, stood on a train platform in Jersey City, New Jersey. A crowd of passengers began to press against the young man to the point that he fell in the open area between the platform and an oncoming train. Suddenly a hand reached out and pulled the president's son to safety by his coat collar. Robert Todd Lincoln immediately recognized his rescuer. It was famous actor Edwin Booth, brother of John Wilkes Booth. In another eerie coincidence, on the day of Edwin's funeral on June 9, 1893, Ford's Theater collapsed, killing 22 people. I found that very interesting. Lincoln is the only president to have obtained a patent. Benjamin Franklin isn't the only American president who demonstrated an inventive mind. Okay, stop. Stop for 1 minute. Now I need a show of hands again that thought that Benjamin Franklin was an actual US president. Now don't be shy, no one's watching. After all, he is on the $10 bill and the 4-cent piece. After being aboard a steamboat that ran aground and had to unload its cargo, Lincoln, who loved tinkering with machines, designed a method for keeping vessels afloat when traversing shallow waters through the use of empty metal air chambers attached to their sides. For his design, Lincoln obtained patent number 6469 in 1849. Lincoln personally test-fired rifles outside the White House. Now, considering the fact that Lincoln served during the Civil War, this had to be unsettling for his staff. Lincoln was a hands-on commander-in-chief who was very interested in artillery used by his Union troops during the Civil War. Lincoln attended artillery and cannon tests and met at the White House with inventors demonstrating military prototypes. Although there was a standing order against firing weapons in the District of Columbia, some things never change. Lincoln test-fired muskets and repeating rifles around the White House regularly. Sounds like my kind of president. Lincoln came under enemy fire on a Civil War battlefield. When Confederate troops attacked Washington, D.C. in July 1864, Lincoln visited the front lines of Fort Stevens, which, by the way, the Union won. At one point, the gunfire came dangerously close to the president. Now, legend has it that Colonel Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr., the future Supreme Court Justice, barked, "Get down, you fool!" Lincoln quickly ducked as a bullet struck the wall where he was standing. He left the battlefield unharmed. Lincoln didn't move to Illinois until he was 21 years old. Illinois may be known as the land of Lincoln, but it was in Indiana that the 16th president spent his formative years, and it was in Kentucky in a log cabin that he was born. In 1816, 17 years after Abe was born, his father Thomas moved the family across the Ohio River to a 160-acre plot in southern Indiana. Lincoln did not migrate to Illinois until 1830. When Abraham was 9 years old, in 1818, his mother Nancy died of a mysterious milk sickness that swept across southern Indiana. It was later learned that the strange disease was due to drinking tainted milk from cows that had ingested the poisonous flower, white snake root. Lincoln was devastated by the death of his mom, and as an adult, had white snake root removed from all properties that he resided in, including the White House. Lincoln never slept in the Lincoln bedroom. When he occupied the White House, the 16th president used the current Lincoln bedroom as his personal office. It was there that he met with cabinet members and signed documents, including the Emancipation Proclamation. Aside from occasionally nodding off at his desk, he never slept in the room. The first room in the White House to carry Lincoln's name didn't become official until 1929, but in 1961, Jacqueline Kennedy turned it into a dining room, and another room was designated the Lincoln bedroom. And that's the Lincoln bedroom that's currently in the White House. Now, here's an honorable mention. Abraham Lincoln was the first president to be featured on any U.S. currency. His likeness was chosen for the penny in 1909 to celebrate his 100th birthday. So those are some interesting facts about one of America's greatest presidents. I'm curious if you already knew any of the facts that I stated. If you did, or if you know of some more interesting facts that I didn't cover, leave them in the comments section down below. If you like short history lessons, please consider subscribing to 10-Minute History. If you like this particular video, please give it a thumbs up. Until next time.